Welcome back to the seventh and final part of Module 3 from the Child Health and Development Project Mississippi Thrives video series on supporting the development of your child's brain architecture. We continue on the subject, Oh Behave, helping families create a behavioral support toolbox. Here's Carrie Horn.
We continue our discussion of consequences with time out from the last part of this module. This is a consequence that we're all probably familiar with. So let's go back to the example from last time, when we put the toy up because the child threw it. Now they're throwing other stuff. We can't just keep running through that cycle over and over again of putting up each toy. So we're going to try a different consequence, and that's the timeout. It's one effective option. I would usually use this for children of ages 3 through around 7, maybe a little older. Timeout is going to move a child to a place free of anything or anyone that might provide them attention. We're trying to remove attention from what they're doing. Again, we're going to give them that instruction. Put the toy on the shelf gently. We're going to count to 5 in our heads, slowly, and then give them the chance to start to follow the direction. If you get to 5 and they haven't even started to follow the direction, then go on to the next step. If they're starting to follow the direction, maybe just give them a little more time. Then we give that warning again. So if you throw your toy, you're going to time out. If you put it away on the shelf and come with me to get a snack, then you can play with your toy after a snack. Watch what your child does. If they throw the toy again, we have to follow through with that consequence. But again, we're going to count to 5 in our heads and give them the time to follow the direction. If they don't put the toy away or they throw it, we're going to tell them to go to timeout. We're not going to talk about it anymore, and we're going to time them for 3 minutes. Now, if they're whining that whole 3 minutes, we are going to wait for them to be quiet for 5 seconds because we want them to come out of timeout when they're quiet, not when they're whining. As soon as they give you that 5 seconds of quiet, and after it's been 3 minutes from the beginning of timeout, you should return to the command. Because they still have to put the toy away before they can go on to the next activity, if that's the rule you want them to follow. So timeouts should only be used when necessary. If we use them too much, they're going to lose their effectiveness. Try to just choose one thing at a time to focus on. Make sure it's something that can't be changed with a lot of praise or rewards. Something that will only grow into bigger behavior issues that we cannot ignore should receive timeout. Or something that we just have to repeatedly say, like, put your toy away. Again, be very consistent with those commands. In that example about throwing the toy, if you put the toy away for the whole day and it's their favorite, you're probably going to hear about it a lot for the rest of the day. So let's say the next time they throw that toy again at 8 o'clock in the morning, think about if you want to go the whole day hearing about that toy that's been put away. Maybe they'll forget and get distracted, but if not, you can always think, okay, next time I'm not going to say the whole day. Next time I'm going to say until after lunch or something like that. But even if you realize, oops, I probably shouldn't have said the whole day, you must stick with it, even if it's difficult. That is actually going to reduce the amount of times your child will throw that toy because they're going to remember that it really will go away for the whole day. So that first day is going to be hard. The first few days might be hard, but when they learn that those consequences really happen, they're going to reduce those behaviors because they don't like these consequences. Finally, we wanted to finish with another emphasis on those developmental milestones. If you look at those developmental milestone checklists, they divide the areas of development into categories. Physical ability can be divided into 2 categories, gross motor and fine motor skills. Fine motor or occupational skills are like small movements with smaller muscles. Gross motor skills are bigger movements with bigger muscles, like kicking a ball. So occupational or fine motor skills would be like feeding yourself, using crayons, or buttoning up a jacket. In the getting dressed example, child's clothing sometimes have buttons or zippers that are difficult for them, and their occupational skills are not developed enough that they can do it by themselves. We don't want to give them a consequence for not following the direction of getting dressed, because they might just be having trouble with those fine motor skills, like fastening the buttons or zippers or getting everything lined up. So we really want to make sure that we're thinking about their ability levels and not accidentally turning those into behavior issues when they are just not ready to do it yet. If you have any questions or concerns about any of this, definitely talk to your healthcare provider. And also make sure that you share those developmental milestones and where you think your child is developmentally with all the other adults in their lives who give them instructions, like grandparents, babysitters, childcare staff, and others. Again, make sure you ask your healthcare provider if you have any questions. You can also bring in your developmental milestone checklist to your child's wellness visits. And you can ask them for something called a developmental screening, which is a closer look at your child's development. If you ever have a concern about your child's developmental progress, it may be worth a call to your healthcare provider, even if your next appointment is not for a while. They should be able to give you some information. We also have a lot of information about developmental milestones and what to do if you have a concern or question about your child's development on our website, which is MississippiThrive.com. So, final review. The secret sauce to behavior change is consistency, predictability, and follow-through. When a child knows what the expectations are, and they can predict what's going to happen if they do certain behaviors, and they trust your reactions to be consistent, they're likely to feel more comfortable with their relationships and their environment. This will make it easier for them to build confidence and try new things and thrive. You're going to see more of those behaviors you want to see. I want to close by thanking you for all the time and attention you give your young children. I encourage you to take some time for yourself as well. Just as you're teaching your child, practice what to do when you start to get frustrated and upset. You can model these for your child. Practice those coping and relaxation skills and co-regulation techniques with your child. Then, you can also do that time in with yourself, taking 5 minutes a day to focus on how you're feeling. Validating those feelings and saying some kind words to yourself can be beneficial for your own well-being. You can also take 5 minutes a day at least to do something you enjoy. I know a lot of us just say we don't have time for that, and sometimes there's not a way to do it without sacrificing sleep, which we really don't want to do. So start with just 5 minutes. Don't be afraid to talk to other adults about what you're working on with your child, because we've all had difficult moments with our children. You might really be able to help another parent by sharing some of the tools that you now have in your toolbox after watching this series.
Thanks for watching this multi-part module. All 5 modules are available at youtube.com. Be sure to type in Mississippi Thrive in the search bar. Check out module number 4 next, Vroom, a tool to promote brain-building moments, which has some great free tools from the exciting Vroom website and app. We hope this video series is helpful as you continue to help Mississippi's children thrive. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and subscribe to us on YouTube. You can also sign up for our monthly newsletter at our website, and feel free to call us for more information.